System status review, starting with vendors. That was where we started with the design, vendors and client setup. So what I'm noticing here is that when I go in to edit any one of these vendors, I still can't. I can change this quote level to detailed, and the Asian or the delivery terms to Haiphong, Asian management to Snap KR, update vendor, go back in, and it's not taken. Also, what I've noticed here is that this is actually still not complete because there's a major section of this vendor setup that's missing. And the major section is down here, the audit information and the state certifications, state registrations. What we had done is we had initially designed this, that these were hard-coded in. I think what it would actually be better to do is to have them in the admin section. So as one of the, let's see, going back here to one of the list managements, being able to have state registrations and audit requirements here, and then I'm able to manage those lists, and then those lists will appear at the bottom of each vendor. Each vendor has its own set. These will be standard based on my list, and then we'll fill in whether or not it's current, the unique number, the last audit pass date, and the next audit due date. These are important, these dates, these renewal dates and next audit due, because the system needs to use these to alert people while they're placing orders, putting orders into the system, whether or not there's a match between a client and a vendor, as well as whether or not this certification is going to be expired by the time a certain order is to ship. So there's functionality built in here. I'm not sure why this wasn't already put into the vendor section, but it's on the approved screens. This has to be implemented. So I'll probably end up sending an email about that. So back to vendor setup. I can't make any changes, and I need that functionality with regard to the audits and the state registrations. For example, here is audit status for each one of these items that's pulled in. And what would happen is, as somebody's going into an order inquiry and adding in items to this particular new order that somebody's putting in, they add an item, the system should check the audit status of that factory and make sure that the factory has the required audit for the client that we're dealing with, and the factory has the current audit status for that particular order. If the audit will expire before the order ships, looking at the cancel date, then this just has to red flag, turn red, and so that visually they can see that there's an issue that they need to look at. It's not going to stop any process, but it's going to make them investigate.